Hey guys, welcome back to the shop. So we're gonna get back on that economy engine. Let me get this little guy here moved out of the way. Sneak peek, that'll be coming up soon. But what we gotta do is, we gotta hone that cylinder. So there's our cylinder hone, and we got new stones for it. The old ones, they were nice and rounded. You guys can see that. Focus. But yeah, I got it out, and well, they came loose from the backer. So we got new stones. What we'll do is we'll put these on, and we're going to run that inside of something that we really don't care about, just to break the sharp corners off, because I mean they're square. We don't want them digging in. So to get those mounted, I'll go ahead and round these off. We'll get our engine over here, pull the studs out of it. We'll hone that cylinder and start cleaning things up. Well, here's that cap. If you guys can pick that up on the inside or not. But yeah, we've got a nice finish. And if we look at our stone, you guys will be able to pick that up. But yeah, we're rubbing even all the way across. So now we don't have to worry about it digging into something that we, necessarily we don't care about, this. It's just a sacrificial thing. Let me get that engine over here. We'll pull them studs out. We're going to run through it, clean it up. All right, guys, let's pull these studs out. I'm sure you guys have seen this before. For those of you that haven't, here. We're just going to double nut this. Hopefully you guys can see through my fingers. And, yeah. You run both nuts down there. Tighten them against each other. And in a perfect world, they'll come right out. So you tighten them down. And then back that back nut off. So I'll get these out. And, yeah, we'll get back to work on the inside. Here you guys can see. Kind of figured I cheated you guys out of this. Let's see if they come out. There. Yep. These will all come out. I'll get the rest of them out. And yeah. Then you guys get to see what we got coming up. Let's get this last stud out of here. I'll try to keep my hands out of your way so you guys can see how well this works. But yeah, if you guys double nut these, then you don't tear up the studs, and yeah, it works out pretty well. So, if we can get this head gasket off of here. Don't want to really necessarily tear it if we don't have to. Take a knife blade. We'll run around it. See if we can save it. Make sure that we, taste it and lick it. Could be asbestos. It's hard to find anymore. There. Doesn't smell like asbestos. I guess we're all right. Okay, let's go ahead and hone that cylinder out now. Well, with all of our head studs out, well, this gasket, we've got this. And our cylinder hone. Let's get this slid in here. We're going to make sure that we lubricate this. And what we've got in here, this stuff is hard to find, guys. Honestly, it really is. I try my best to use it as sparingly as I can. This is virgin porpoise oil. Yeah, Dad gave this to me, and it's really hard to get a hold of. You guys want to know the rest of the story? Leave me a comment. But until then, let's hone this out. Well, I saved you guys the noise and the agony of listening to this drill. But we do have it honed out. And get you guys here into focus. We'll go through and... Nice. Hang on, I'll show you guys here. Okay, let's take a look down inside of here. You guys see in there? All right, let's take this microfiber cloth. Look at the back of my hand. Nice. Pull you guys in a lot closer. Well, yeah. Now we have a very, very nice crosshatch pattern. Tell you what, guys, if you can get your hands on porpoise oil, virgin porpoise oil, that's the way to go. Put this back over here out of the way. Gotta hang on to that. Let's get that piston up here next. So, here, this is our piston. Because remember when we yanked this out? Alright. Let me get some stuff sitting right here. We're going to pull this apart. It's impressive. Now you guys are a little bit closer. You know, whenever you do exploratory surgery and tear something apart, you've got to have the right tools for the job. Well, or at least try to. Let's get some dental tools out. You guys are not going to believe what these piston rings are made out of. I popped this one loose already. You guys see this? It's packing material for a valve in a gas engine. Well, kind of lets us know why they didn't want to hold up too well. Get a hold of this one here. And this stuff is just, it's carboned up and folded over. No wonder why the poor thing didn't have any compression. It's just all gummed up. There. That's what it is. It's like Teflon packing material. So, nice, huh? What do you think? Well, you guys look in the bottom of here. You see right there, we have a screw that clamps our rod onto our wrist pin. Let's see if we can get this apart. It is moving, and we did push it out. So, all right, I'll get the rest of this. Now, I'll get it apart. Don't need to sit you and, you know, watch me sit here and fight this. I'll get this part. I'll put this in the lathe. We'll get this cleaned up. And, guys, you know, as bad as it looks, I think it's going to be just fine. I'll get that cleaned up. We'll dig into this. Nice. All right. Well, I did get our rod off from the top side, and if it'll show up. You guys see that line running right up through the center? This is a cast piston. It'll clean up just fine. We got our nice grooves. I'll get all this cleaned up. I don't know if you guys want to see a lathe work video or not, but we'll leave that set there, and well, our piston rings. Might as well throw them away. Now, we're into this. I can't believe how much crud, schmoo, and schmagma it does have stuck to it. This thing had to be running so rich for so long. It's amazing. But my intentions are on this. Got a brass brush. We're just going to see what this does, and it does clean it off. So, all right. You guys don't need to sit here and watch me scrub this. I'll keep doing it by myself. We did get it cleaned up. Guys, I don't think I've ever seen valves made like this before. Well, here, let me pull this one apart. We'll look at it together. We'll keep her off to the side if we can. You guys see how that's made? I don't know if it's even going to focus for you. Come on. These valves were all handmade. You look at it. For the most part, they seem like they sealed up fairly well. We'll keep these apart. I'll get the exhaust one off. And it almost looks like, I'm not sure what the hell's going on here. But that's the way they were intended to be. Kind of strange. I wish you guys were a little bit closer. I could pass these around. I don't know. Maybe you guys have seen this before, but all right. I'll get the other one apart. We'll get it cleaned up and got both the valves out, guys. Here's our intake. Here's our exhaust. Got the piston off, and yeah, look at that. Now we got it all cleaned up. All right, guys. Well, I'll tell you what. You guys have been great. We've been at this for, I don't know, you guys have probably watched it for maybe 15 minutes. Been out here for several hours. What do you say we kind of take a break? I'll meet you guys in the truck. Let's go on a road trip. Alright guys, well here we are. Debolt Machine in Zanesville, Ohio. Let's go in and meet Paul. It's going to be exciting. Look at this guys, all sorts of stuff. Tools, parts, complete engines. Look at all this. And right there we go. Piston rings. That's one thing we need.
Hang on here a second.
Oh, okay. I got just a little bit of everything in here. Gears, everything a person would need. Oilers. Look, I even have clutch pulleys. Let's go meet Paul. How long have you been machining?
I'm not a machinist, I'm a wannabe.
Oh, okay. Hi, Paul. How you doing?
All right.
Matt, Steam 212.
Yeah.
So, just thought I'd come down here, and I need some piston rings, and I brought an engine along with me, so we can see what we got.
Yeah, sure.
And go from there. So this is inside a Debolt Machine. We got Paul right back there, and
This is George Hughes.
George. These are some of the engines that they build. They make everything themselves here in house. Just beautiful engines.
And there's one unpainted.
They have all the parts in stock. And not necessarily just for these engines. They have a variety of parts. They have up here in the front all sorts of different grease cups. They have oilers down in here. And like I said, gear sets. Clutch pulley. Piston rings. We got a set. They make their own oilers here too, with a vent tube, a swing top, different sizes. You guys need a fuel tank. Machine the ends so you can make it any length you wanted. Rod oiler down in there. There's another engine that they have. Let's see if we can get Paul to take us out in the shop.
You notice.
Let's go out and see what he's got out there in the shop.
We grind the crankshafts and some of our other stuff in here. That way they have a nice finish. We can hold sides real close. This has this is a semi-automatic.
Very nice.
So we can set it up and set size and let her run. Keep it covered up, keep the dust off of it when we're not using it. This is a surface grinder, big one, that 1224. Which we grind fixtures and anything else we need to grind on here. It's a pretty flexible machine. This is also a 3-axis automatic.
Nice.
Broach machine is where we cut our keyways.
Okay.
So this is a hydraulic broach. It's not a real big one, but most of the stuff we do here is not that big.
I understand.
This is a 3/8 capacity, so that's not real big. Of course, Bridgeport, we have a lagoon mill here, but that's, most people are familiar with that. It's just a little bit oversized compared to a Bridgeport. Of course, we have some CNC milling machines. This is a DT center, which is a little smaller than a regular Bridgeport style EMC with a hide control on. And then, of course, this is a manual lathe and the turret lathe over there. Usually what happens is I'll run one of these CNC machines and I'll be tinkering with something here while that's running automatically, try to maximize the time I'm using.
I understand.
So, of course, this is something I'm working on right now, the CNC turning machine. We have shop floor programming on here, so we can program it right on the machine and set it up.
Wonderful.
getting ready to turn some parts in here and set it up on an automatic site.
It's all, it constantly repeats the same program over and over.
Oh yeah, well this particular machine will turn apart and pull the bar out and cut it off, and it'll catch it and put it down here, and then just pull the bar out, turn another one and catch it and bring it out. So you can let it run by itself depending on how long. You can put a 4-foot bar in it.
Oh boy.
So if you got part we're making here is just a little short piece, so you're going to get hundreds of them.
Absolutely.
So it'll
oh
run,
yeah.
it'll run for a while without any too much attention, especially on brass. If it's steel or something hard, you'd have to monitor it a lot more closely because the tools wear and all that. It has a tool touch off system in it to set the tools and all that.
Okay.
And so does the mill. I mean, I didn't point out on the mill, it has tool touch off, and it has an infrared system for probing and that sort of thing. So
Nice. So it wants to stay repetitive.
yeah,
It knows
you
where it's
can
at.
check parts with it. You can set your part location with a probing system.
Okay.
And it's a wireless probe on that thing. And this is a gear shaper. I don't know how many people have seen one of these. It's a Fellows. And this is a gear cutting machine. That's all it does is gear cutting. It has a cutter like big one out here so you can see it real easy. It has a cutter that looks like that. The cutter mounts right here, and it goes up and down and turns at the same time.
Okay.
So as your part is turning in here, this is cutting like that, and it's generating the teeth as it goes around, and it feeds in at the same time.
Oh.
So it's doing a lot of things at the same time, but what it generates the gears, really nice set of gears on this. And of course you can cut coarse teeth like that one, or you can cut fine teeth like that. You know, and you have to set the gear ratio between the cutter and the whatever.
I see.
Whatever gear you're cutting, but that's what we do our model gears on. I mean, this machine has a capacity of 7 inches, which is not real big, but for what we're doing, it's plenty big. Okay.
Absolutely.
So that's why you know, we've got this machine because a lot of our kits, even if when we sell casting kits, we always supply the gears. That way you don't have to hunt them down, and they're already got some of the preliminary cutting done on them, the teeth cut, and all that kind of stuff.
So, would you want to show me what comes in your guys' kits?
Yeah,
so everybody can see
yeah,
what...
you can. So, I don't have one laid out here, but so you're going to be getting a cylinder, of course, and the base, which are all machined on a mechanic's kit. Of course, that goes on there like that. And a set of 2 flywheels, and then we have packets in here that you can, if you get a kit.
Russia bombed one of their own cities accidentally.
So you're going to get packets. You'll get a packet that has all the springs in it and nameplate.
Nice.
Like that. And then you'll get packets like this, which will have all the parts in there. The muffler and some of the, all this is the exhaust system and all that kind of stuff. Then you'll get a packet with a connecting rod, the piston.
There's your finished gears.
Yeah, and your finished gears and your cams and that kind of stuff. You know, and you'll get packets with the governor's parts, which is a 500 series. There's the bracket and the governor yoke and the governor weight balls and the arms and all that stuff in there.
So all this is completely machined, ready for assembly?
Yeah, so you're getting a if you're getting a mechanic's kit, it would be in essence what you see here unassembled.
Very nice.
So of course the base doesn't come with it, the aluminum part here, but the engine itself, all the fasteners, everything, all you have to do is put it together and it'll look like that. If you were getting a finished engine, it would look like this with a base.
Very nice.
Of course, this doesn't have a lubricator on it yet. A couple other details like the pulley. So it goes on here like that. And some other small details. These two are not quite finished. He's getting close. And he's getting ready to finish putting them together and run them here shortly.
How long does it take him to build one?
15 minutes. It depends on how fussy you want, or anybody wants to get, really. If you want to really smooth it up and get really nice paint work, you know, the castings can be smoothed up a lot if you want to do that. Or if you want to, this one here is just assembled without any finish work on it. So you can get an idea what it would look like without any paint. But you can see here on the edge of the flywheels here on the spokes where it could stand some finished work.
Oh, a little bit, yeah.
Yeah. So if you really want to make a nice paint job. Now some people have the attitude, well, the original didn't look like a car finish on there,
yes.
So I'm not going to do it that way. And other people want to make it look like it's made out of glass.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and once you guide the engine, it's your choice.
So you are available by going through
DeboltMachine.com. You can go to our website and purchase any parts, engines or parts. You can use PayPal or credit card on there to purchase anything you need. And if we don't have it in stock, you can contact me and let me know. And we do repairs on some engines. Sometimes it's cost effective and sometimes it's not. Most of the time we try to let you know whether it's going to be expensive and then you have to decide whether it's worthwhile to do that. Because specialized, if you're working on one individual engine, it can be costly. You know, our engines are made in quantity to try to drive the price down, which I can't do that if you've got an engine that's built by whoever.
Yeah.
Mainly because if you bring an engine in here that needs repair and you're not able to do the machine work, I have to do a lot of feeling around in the dark to figure out what he did and how he did it.
I understand.
How well he did it, or how much, and sometimes it's like if you were working on your house and you decide to remodel something, you don't know what you're getting into. You start taking drywall down and all that.
Yeah.
Or whether there was termites or somebody did something wrong when they built the house originally. It's the same thing, only it's an engine.
Yeah.
And I'm
so you
not
might find out that they used packing material for piston rings.
Yeah, or you know, the hole pattern for something is not symmetrical, so you have to locate all the holes so you can get something to bolt on there that you can't do anything else with. That's happened numerous times here where we're feeling around the dark trying to get parts to fit together even.
Oh yeah.
But, we'll help you out any way we can, whether you want to purchase parts or have something repaired.
Okay, great. Well, hey, thank you very much, Paul. Thank you for all these parts, and I think we'll get back to the shop here in a little bit. I won't subject you guys to the drive home, but we'll be back in the shop and we'll put it together. So once again, DeboltMachine.com, and all these parts are available through him. So all right, thanks again.
Yeah.
Well, hey guys, we're back out here in the shop. Finally got back from that road trip, and I'll tell you what, I don't know how you guys drive around down there, but we made it back safe. So right here, see if I can get you guys to read that. This is the information for Debolt Machine, and hopefully you guys will see it in the video on our little tour that we did down there. He's a great guy, guys. He knows his stuff. So let me show you what we came home with. 2 piston rings. These are cast iron heat treated rings, and yeah, they're nice rings. They're a bit oversized for what we need, but we'll be able to file fit these to fit our bore and our groove. See, they're just a little bit too wide to drop down in there. See if I can show you guys, get up close enough. Up here on the top when it doesn't quite drop in. So that's fine. We'll put this little piston in the lathe. We'll give it a spin. We'll just clean this edge up. And we're going to put a groove right here in the center line. This is a suggestion from Paul. Since our wrist pin is captured by that screw, the piston floats on that rod. well, there's no way for oil to get in there and lubricate our sides of our piston for our wrist pin. So he suggested put a groove in there. That'll help. And we might put another, light groove up here just to help hold oil. We do have crosshatch in there, and that'll help. But speaking of oil, I bought one of these from him too. Get it out of the package. You guys will see what we've got here. This is pretty impressive. All right, so I bought this drip oiler from Paul. He makes these and sells them in several varieties. You guys might have seen the video. But this one has a glass in it. If you look in there, see there's a vent tube that goes up. It won't just sit there and bubble oil back and forth. Pressure will go out through the top. It's an adjustable oiler. Very nicely made. He makes these all in-house. We're going to put that on there. The original intention was this one from PM Research. And there's no glass down here in the bottom. And there's no vent tube. So that's why I bought that one from Paul. And I also bought little bitty grease cups. These are just like full-sized ones. It'll show you. Pack that with grease. Get this cap off. Pack these with grease. Then when you tighten it down, that'll inject the grease into your bearing. So we got one of these. I'll put that here on the back of our rod. And then we got two of these here that are a little bit taller. Same size cup, but they're just extended right here. And those will go on our mains. So who would have thought that in an 8-hour road trip just for those parts, but you guys got to come along, and I got to meet him. Great guy. We've got some fantastic high quality parts here, so I'll get busy on that piston and make sure these rings fit in there, and then we'll file fit our rings for our end gap, because let me get the engine turned around. You guys can see that too. All right, you guys can see right down its bore now. So I'll try to keep my hands out of your way. It's going to be awful damn challenging, but we'll get it. So if you see, when we go to squeeze these down, our end gaps, they hit before we drop into the cylinder. See, but our end gap is tight. So what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to file the end of these off to get our clearance. So, when they expand and everything else, and that piston is going to grow too, guys. We got a steel liner with an aluminum piston. So they're not going to grow at the same rate. We got to have some end gap in here. So when we get to that point, I'll show you guys. So let me get busy on working on this little piston here. I've got our piston done, guys. You can see that little groove right there, maybe. So that'll help the oil from our oiler. Put a really light one right here. But I also opened up these grooves. So now, our piston rings, they drop into the groove. Just a little bit of play in them, which is good. So that'll work out just fine. Now, speaking about how to get oil from this oiler down into our cylinder, get this thing flipped on its side. See if I can get you guys to see down in here. It's not terrible bad. See where our oiler is going to go? It's a great idea. The problem is, probably a good idea why he used Teflon on this, because this hole right here, if you look, it has a bottom. It's not even open into the cylinder itself. So if we put an oiler on there, it wouldn't do a damn bit of good. Got to put a hole in the bottom of that. So I'll do that here now. Might as well get our block work done, and before we keep moving on other things. All right. Setup I'm going to use is just a pin vise that been a little bit modified. I'm going to put that in our drill chuck, and the hole we're going to drill is the same size as what we have coming out of our oiler. No reason for it to be any bigger, because You're only going to get so much oil through that. No reason to make it fall in there. So, all right, well, if you guys are squeamish, look away now. Try to work around the camera. If we destroy it, you guys get to see it first, so. This was a lot more challenging than I ever anticipated. Well, I'll show you guys right here. The pile of carnage from broken drill bits. And this was, good lord. I thought hickory was hard. But, you guys can see down in there, we do have a hole. Let me get you situated. How's that? You guys see right down the throat of it now? You guys watch down the middle of there. There we go, ready? You guys see it run through there? We've got an open hole. We're going to have a functioning oiler. But, in order to get that functioning oiler, we need to make a nipple that goes from our hole to the top of our oiler. Get you guys reset. I'll get started on that too. With our hole open for our oiler, we have a nice oiler to put on it. We got to connect that oiler to that hole. Well, these are threaded 1024. That hole inside there, I guess I'm not 100% sure what it is. We'll figure it out. We got a chunk of brass stock here, just solid stock. So I'll get that in the lathe and we'll make a nipple for it. And well, we got to make a coupler because we got male threads up here. So we'll have to make a coupler, or maybe we'll just open this up and thread the inside. Not sure what we're going to do on that yet. I'll figure it out. It'll be fine. Nothing to worry about. But yeah. And I guess while I'm at it is, you know, we got our piston work done. I did fit one ring. I filed it and everything. And it fits really nice, guys. We compress these rings. I'll show you guys how to do that probably in the next video. This is getting a little bit long in the tooth, and you know, I've been out here in the shop monkeying with this for, you know, damn near 12 days now, just off and on, and with the road trip over to see Paul at Debolt. So, all right, guys. Hey, thank you so much for watching. The next one won't be near as long of a wait, I promise, because now we have all of our parts. You know, holiday and New Year and stuff. It's all over with. So, back to normal. All right, guys. Hey, once again, thank you so much for watching. If you're not subscribed, well, put it right here. Click there, guys. If you're not subscribed, I really do appreciate it. You guys are great. We'll see you soon. Bye.